God's abundant blessings be with you, geometry students. I trust He will guide us, He will light our way, He will be our insight, and all of our potentials will come to fruition as we prepare for this, our first test of the semester. In this one, I want to draw your attention to our verse, which is an important one. It says, as we studied lines, we rehearsed a verse which emphasized straightness. Write that verse and think about it. That verse, you already have it written down. So it says, and you can rehearse it with me, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, make straight, that's the word, in the desert, a highway for our God. So you can rehearse that one as we think about straightness. Now, I've got here for you to complete the following. At the slopes of parallel, should have lines here. Or you could write equal, or you could put the same. So you need to remember that. The slope of, say that with me, the slope of parallel lines are equal or the same, while the slopes of perpendicular lines are the negative reciprocal of each other. So that would be the negative reciprocal of each other. So for example, if one line had a slope of, let's say, 2/7, then the perpendicular line would have a slope of -7/2. And that leads us to finding the slope of a line given 2 points on the line. We've been through this before, but now finding the slope of a line, we use the equation we use a formula, equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What I'd like you to do is when you look at these lines, just say, oh, you know what, it's going to be a positive slope, and just look for an answer which is going to be positive. It's important to identify your 2's and your 1's. Some of you can do it mentally, but here it is on paper. So now y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is the slope of a line given 2 points on the line. So it's going to be 0 minus 2 over x2 minus x1 would be -5 minus 0. -5 minus 0. Upstairs, the 0 does not contribute anything, so I don't even write it. It's -2 over -5. And a negative divided by a negative, or a negative times a negative, gives us a positive result. And we are pleased because this is a positive slope. If I was getting a negative here, I would say, oh, something is wrong. All right, I want to leave that one for you to do or to redo. Some of you already did it. Just redo that one. And now I'm going to do this one. Would you write an equation for the line shown in 3a? So here we are. This is 3a. The slope is 2 over 5. And here's what I told you. Once you know the slope and the y-intercept, you can find the equation of the line. So you might say, what's the y-intercept here again? It is 2. Y-intercept is a y value for which x is 0. So this is a y value here, 2, for which x is 0. So you got your 2 here. And you use, when it says equation, you always want to use y equals mx plus b, unless they specify another equation. But this is the one we've been studying. So our answer here is going to be y equals our x is 2 over 5. Sorry, that's an m. And then x stays as is and b is 2. So this would be the required equation. This one you can do that by yourself. Let's go to the other page. Here it says write an equation. So once again, you see equation, you're thinking y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. So they give us the m, they give us the b. How kind. So we can say, oh, y then must be negative 4x minus 3 for that one. For this one, the m is negative 2, the y-intercept is 2, so y equals negative 2x plus 2 for that one. This one you really need to get these right. No ifs, buts, or maybes about it. Alright? Here, I trust you'll be able to get this. You got the slope, and this right here is the y-intercept. 8 is the y-intercept because the y-intercept is the y value for which x is 0. So really you could just write this one down as y equals negative 5x, because negative 5 is the slope, plus 8. It's a great one to get. How about these? Well, it says write an equation of a line which passes through negative 4, 1 and is parallel. Here's the word parallel. It's going to be parallel to this. Then it has the same one, slope, because parallel lines have the same slope, correct? So the slope of this given line, I trust you know it is negative 1. That's what's before the x, negative 1. So the slope of the line we seek is going to be the same. However, we don't know the y-intercept because this is not 0. If this is where 0, 1, then 1 would be the y-intercept. But we are going to use y equals mx plus b. So y equals the m I told you is negative 1, x plus b. So here, wherever we see y, we're going to put 1. Wherever we see x, we're going to put negative 4. So negative 1 times negative 4 for x plus b. Negative 1 times negative 4, whenever you have two negatives being multiplied or two negatives being divided, then the answer is going to be positive. So now I have to subtract 4 from both sides. Subtract 4 here. 1 minus 4. This gives me b equals negative 3. And that is plugged in here. And our answer becomes y equals negative x minus 3. This one I'm not going to work all the way out. I'm just going to find the slope. It says write an equation of a line which passes through the point 2, negative 4 and is perpendicular to y equals negative 2x plus 8. Let's go step by step. Here, slope of this line is negative 2. That's the slope of the given line. So the slope of the perpendicular, this is the word, perpendicular line, since negative 2 is the same as negative 2 over 1, slope of the perpendicular line would be negative, not negative, sorry, positive 1 over 2. And I can just hear John saying, are you positive? Yes, because it's going to be the negative reciprocal of this. Negative reciprocal of this, which is 1/2. So where do I start? Start with my template, y equals mx plus b. And then we put negative 4 wherever we see y. And wherever we see x, we put 2. So it's going to be equal to negative, what? Not negative, 1/2 is the m, and x is the 2 plus b. So we can cancel this down and multiply. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1. So we're going to have negative 4 is equal to 1 plus b. Subtract 1, subtract 1. B equals negative 5. So we plug this negative 5 in here, and we get y equals 1/2 x. Actually, we're going to plug it, but I don't have the equation. 1/2 x plus b, and b is negative 5. Let's go further. Go back. All right, this one, I trust you'll be able to do. It says, write an equation for a line which passes through negative 4, 2 and is perpendicular to a line whose slope is undefined. Undefined. Undefined slope, what is that? That is a vertical line. So we want a line perpendicular to a vertical line. That line would be what? Horizontal. So the line we seek will be horizontal, and it passes through this point, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So negative 4, 2. So here it comes. Our line is going to look like that. If you're watching carefully, you should say, oh, the line we're looking for is horizontal, and it passes through this. It's going to be the line y equals 2, because y equals 2 everywhere here. So the answer here is y equals 2. These I think I handled well in class. Let me just touch on one and a couple of these. Back here, this would pertain to blocks 1, 2, and 4. 6 and 7, we're not there yet. But block 1, 2, and 4. Find x and classify each triangle as acute, obtuse, or right. Here we should be thinking about the triangle sum theorem. So what is that again? It states that the sum of the three angles of any triangle, thank you, equals 180 degrees. Let's rehearse that. The sum of the three angles of any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Well, let's look at this one. To find x, we bear in mind that these three angles must add up to 180. So we have 3x plus 2x plus 5x equals 180. So 3 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 3 plus 2 is not 6, 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 180. We divide by 10. So we get x equals 18. So we plug this x in here. So we get 2 times 18. That's for this angle. That's 36. For this one, we get 3 times 18. That would be 54. And then 5 times 18 for this one. That gives me 90. So this is x is 18. And this is a righteous triangle because it has one angle equal to 90 degrees. And finally here, this angle here, the exterior angle is going to be the sum of these two angles. So we have x minus 8 is equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles. That's the exterior angle theorem. We have to work this out, find the x. And once we found the x, then we can find this missing angle.